Okay, everybody. Well, it has been a while since I made a video for you guys. I just, haven't really thought of much to upload lately. Things were just kind of in a lull, like I said in the community post, so... But I figured, since things are kind of cooling down outside now, leaves are changing, thought it'd be a good time to get another furnace run-up video for you guys. I know some of you do enjoy that. And if you notice, though, this time I'm starting with the attic furnace, because I haven't really shown a startup video for you guys with the attic furnace. I mean, it is pretty much the same as the basement one, but I thought maybe you would like to see how it goes as well. You can see this one's vented a little bit differently, but you may remember this from when I did the insulation work. You can see there's my insulation work right there where the lighter gray insulation begins. You can see that's still done well. There's also had the damper replacement, if you remember. The damper for the zone right over there. That's still working well. The original one on the other zone is still working well, so that's what matters. And you can see the venting comes from inside here instead of outside, but, the attic pretty much is vented to the outside. You have the soffit vents over there, you have the ridge vent, and you have the attic fan down there. So... you can see how it works there. There is no whole house humidifier on this, though. That goes to the first floor one. And I also did replace the air filter. Like I said, I just got to get some new ones. As you can see, don't have any there right now. So there is just one thing I want to show you inside before we get this going, just to give you kind of like a history thing, if you want to call it that. Okay, so there is just one thing I want to show you here that had happened with this furnace, believe it or not, before we fully moved in. So... do you see how there's kind of like, let me spin this a little bit. See how there's like a little bit of white stuff on the inducer fan? Yeah, you see that? See that white stuff? Okay, so you want to know how that happened? Do you notice how there's electrical tape on the white wire right there? Like right here above the zip tie. You see that? Okay, so what was going on was, this could have happened at the factory or when they installed it, who knows? That white wire was being rubbed on by the black part of the inducer fan right there. So that white stuff on there is the insulation from the wire. It kept rubbing on it so much that the insulation actually wore off the wire and that part got exposed. And mind you, this was happening before we fully moved in here, so who knows how long that was going on for. And it's a good thing it didn't touch any metal, because if it did, that could have been a fire right there. And not only that, do you see this blue wire right here? There's a couple... oh, excuse me. There's a couple of electrical tape pieces right there. Okay, that wire was wrapped around the motor shaft, between the motor itself and the black fan right there. It was around the motor shaft. I mean, who in their right mind would look at that and say, yeah, that looks fine, but I mean, you really shouldn't expect much these days, right? But anyway, I fixed this initially myself. I took off the blue wire, took it off, taped it up, taped up the white wire, and then I guess at some point they came in here with the zip ties and tied it all up and out of the way. But that should have happened the first time, Unbelievable. And this also has that transformer, kind of like the basement one, probably for the damper board up there. So, okay, so now let's go ahead and get this going for you. Alright, and here we go. So you may hear a couple of clicks from the zone dampers as I'm turning this on, because I'm going to turn on one zone and then turn on the other, so they're both open. So you may hear a couple of clicks as the inducer's revving up and everything. So here it is, and let's get it going for you. And there it goes. You probably saw some of the lighting change as I came back up the thing. Sorry about that, but I can't do much about that shadow effect. Alright, let's take this off the tripod it and show it to you. Like I said, the burners really have the biggest amount of noise here, so you really can't hear the blower as much, but it is going. Yep, it is running right now. I can feel a little bit of air through there. But yeah, there's the burners. And yeah, you may have heard you may have seen that small thing of air in the line right there. That was probably from back when they tested the fire pit. That's probably where that air in the line came from. But you can see it still started up, no problem. The inducer's running fine. Let me get the light on that. Yep, running just fine. And this vents through the roof. It's been a while since I've shown you. Yeah, the pipe goes there, and then up to the roof, as you can see. See it right there? That's where it goes up to. And yeah, you know, if it rains, that's totally fine, because what happens is the rainwater goes down the pipe into the collection thing there, and then down the condensate drain down the basement that you've seen before. Yeah, this thing's running great. And here's the damper board. Remember, Zone 2 is not used on this one because Zone 3 goes to the left here, which is better for that one zone. And see, both the dampers are open. That one's fully open, as you can see, like it should be, so that's good. And same with the other one right here. Now, when both zones are open, obviously the vents won't make as much noise, but you hear a nice rumbling from the flames below in the playroom and the hallway, and then you hear the motor itself turn on, the blower motor, which is really cool. It just goes in through there. And again, there's that insulation work I did, holding up really well. Yeah, running fantastic. Alright, so let me just put the panel back on. You can see how it sounds with the panel on. And that's how it sounds with the panel on. Now, I mean, obviously the camera's not going to pick up, you know, quite as much as the human ear does, but like I said, you do have a nice rumbling from here that you can hear even as the blower fan is going. And the blower's on low speed, as you know, for heat. Let me just step back here carefully. But yeah, this is what it sounds like. So not too bad. And again, the air goes through in through that pipe for the burners and then goes out that way to the roof. Okay, and this one's running great. So what we'll do now is we will go down to the basement and show the first floor one like we always have before. And here we are down in the basement for the first floor air handler. I think this one needs no introduction by this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, turn it on, get the furnace going, then I'll put the panel on, and then we'll test the whole house humidifier, kind of like we did last time. So here it is, and let me get it going for you. Maybe about 5 seconds ago, the what do you call it? The blower fan turned on. So there you go. Basement or first floor one started right up, and it does tell you that. Remember that switch we got replaced? Still working great. Burners look fantastic. Again, they do come out brighter on video than you see in person, but the flames are very steady, nice and blue, so that's certainly good. Producer's running well, and there's those wires I taped up, remember that? And yeah, if you remember, any water that collects in this furnace, it goes down here, then down from this pipe right here and down to the condensate pump. But really, aside from, you know, that one switch replacement, really these furnaces have not given us any problems. You know, same with the air conditioners just outside. Aside from the disconnect switch, these things have been running great, and I'm very happy about that. And once again, very happy that they're the simple models. Yeah, doing very well. And on the whole house humidifier, you can see I opened the damper back up. And right now the humidity is 50, so it doesn't need to run, and we have it set for 35. And I'll raise it up in a bit just so we can hear it go and see the water go through and everything. And I also did put a new humidifier pad in here, so that's all good and set. And I'll show you the damper board. Yep, heat light is on and going to zone 1. And there's the dampers like you remember from last time. Oh, and also, this is also the furnace where I changed the blower off delay from, I think, 2 minutes to either 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes to get more heat off the heat exchanger after the burner shuts off, and lets it cool down more. So I know that can only help it as it goes. All right, so what I'll do is I'll put the panel on, and then we'll give the humidifier a test. And here's how it sounds with the panel on. Quieter, of course, but like I said before, you do get like some rumble of the flames as the burner's going, which is really cool. And that, along with the blower, does sound pretty nice. In this one, the air comes from the outside, as you know, and there's that window by the driveway, and out those pipes to the side that you've seen before. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll test the humidifier. I'll set this to, I think it's 65 is the highest, and what I'll do is I'll focus the camera here. Maybe you can see the water line shake a little bit as the solenoid valve opens. Okay, maybe it didn't really move, but I'm sure you heard that loud click. And 60% is the highest you can set it to. So yeah, you can probably hear like little light hissing. And soon you should see water coming out of the drain tube right here. And I'll also take this cover off so you can see like the little spout of water inside. Let's see. And it takes a little time. Oh, there it is. It's starting to see some water drip now. Yep, there it goes. And, yep, water's going out of here now. And it's going right into the condensate pump, so that's where it collects. Okay, and then what I'll do is, I guess, take off this cover so you can see the little water on top. I think you can see it. Let's see. Yep, there it is right there. You see that little thing right there? That's the water going on top. And you can see it spreading around the humidifier pad like that. Yeah, so that's how the humidifier operates. So it goes through this pad, and then through the return duct, and then back up again, and that's how it humidifies the first floor, should it need it. That's definitely pretty cool. Let's put this back on. See if I can get it right the first time. Yeah, see, it's a little touchy like that. There we go. All back in place. And we'll put this back to 35, and maybe you'll see it shake this time. I didn't really do that time, but whatever, you get the idea. You just heard the click, the water stopped flowing, and now set back to 35. Alright guys, and there you have it. So you can see both furnaces started up no problem, working beautifully. They're how old now? They're 3 years old and still doing great. Like I said, we had that one switch, but thankfully it was a simple thing. Everything else with these furnaces are working great, and they keep the house very warm when needed. So as usual, thank you very much for watching, and take care.